Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV AM News in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Fauziya Lukman. President Bola Tinubu has arrived in New York City, United States, ahead of his first participation in the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, as Nigeria's president. The Boeing 737 presidential jet NAF 001 conveying the president and his entourage touched down in New York in the early hours of Monday. President Tinubu was received by Nigeria's permanent representative to United Nations Ambassador Tijani Mohammed Bande and Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tugga, with 6 governors and 7 ministers as part of his 17-man delegation to UNGA. This is the president's first appearance at the annual gathering, as attends several high-level meetings and engagements with other world leaders and business executives on the sideline of the General Assembly. The theme of the 78th UNGA is rebuilding trust and reigniting global solidarity, accelerating action on the 2030 Agenda and its Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, towards peace, prosperity, progress, and stability for all. President Bola Tinubu has appointed Jamila Biyu Ibrahim as Minister of Youth, and the President also appointed Ayodele Olawande to serve as the Minister of State for Youth. Their nomination for the positions precedes their confirmation by the Senate. Ajuri Ngilali, special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, announced the development in a statement on Sunday. The position of Minister of Youth became vacant after President deployed Abubakar Momo to the Ministry of Niger Delta Development. President of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), Joe Ajaero, has said the 2-day warning strike earlier embarked on the union was necessitated by the frustration on the part of the working class. Ajaero stated this on Monday at the commencement of the meeting called at the instance of the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, expressing his displeasure on the way the government was handling the palliative scheme amid the subsidy removal policy. Ajaero said none of the demands raised by workers, which the government pledged to meet, have been fulfilled, despite the 2-day warning strike. Ajaero, speaking on Monday at the commencement of the meeting called on the instance of the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, expressed displeasure at the handling of the scheme. Despite the 2-day warning, he said he was optimistic that a constructive dialogue which has begun will lead to the resolution of the lingering issues. The Speaker of House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, on Sunday applauded the President Bola Tinubu's choice of appointees to manage the Central Bank of Nigeria affairs. Abbas described Olayemi Kosodo, who the President on Friday appointed as the new governor of the CBN, as well as Mohammed Sani Dattijo, Imam Enen Usoro, Philip Ikazio, and Bala Bello, who were appointed as deputy governors of the Apex Bank. As eggheads in the financial and economic sector that have what it takes to reposition the CBN. Abbas remarked that the newly appointed management team of the CBN has a huge task ahead of them. He therefore urged them to apply their expertise to navigate the country to economic prosperity. Edo State Deputy Governor Comrade Philip Shuaibu was on Monday morning locked out of his office at the Dennis Osabeye Avenue seat of power in Benin City, Edo State capital. Shuaibu got to his office and met a chain and a heavy padlock at the entrance. The embattled Deputy Governor and his aides waited for about an hour and thereafter left. Shuaibu also made frantic calls to his principal, Governor Andrew Obaseki, but to no avail. Sources revealed that Shuaibu had some discussion with the State Commissioner of Police and Director of State Security Services, DSS, alerting them of how he was locked out from the office. The federal government is planning 2 superhighways across the country through the Public-Private Partnership Scheme. Minister of Work David Umahi disclosed this to the State House correspondents on Sunday after a meeting with President Bola Tinubu in Abuja. He said the highways would be from Abuja to Lagos and Port Harcourt to Lagos, adding that they would be provided with state-of-art facilities for the comfort of traveling public. The minister said that the government has got commitment from stakeholders to make the project a success within a reasonable period of time. He also said that due to inappropriate funding, he has asked the president to direct the termination of road projects that has taken more than 10 years without completion. The minister assured Nigerians that no project initiated by the past administration will be abandoned by the government. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) in Imo State on patrol along Oba-Owerri Express have rescued 5 pregnant teenage girls suspected to be victims of child trafficking used as a baby factory. They were picked up while being relocated from their hideout in the Naze area of Owerri in Ekenabo area of the state's capital. The spokesman for the anti-narcotics agency, Femi Babafemi, revealed in a statement on Sunday the teenagers claimed they didn't know who the men who impregnated them. The Imo State command of the agency had since been directed to hand them over to the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons for further investigation. Babafemi noted, meanwhile, fresh attempts to exploit various quantities of methamphetamine and skunk by members of some transitional drug trafficking organizations through the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Ikeja and courier companies in Lagos were again thwarted by operatives of the NDLEA, who intercepted the illicit drug consignment concealed in different items. In expanding its support for wounded soldiers experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD), an Invictus game was organized to inspire as well as provide opportunity for growth. Speaking to journalists while receiving Nigerian contingents from Germany, Chief of Defense Civil Military Relations Rear Admiral Abdullahi Ibrahim Dewu and the Director of Sports Defense Headquarters, Air Vice Marshal Etim Marquez, says the game is organized for wounded soldiers to interact as well as create a pathway for those hurt in the theater of operations. Kikelomo Okiri has the rest of the report.
Founded by Prince Harry in 2014, the Invictus Game is an international sporting event for wounded, injured, and sick military servicemen and women, both serving and veterans. The event takes its name from the word Invictus, which means unconquered. In an interview with journalists while receiving the contingent from Germany, the Director of Sports Defense Headquarters says the Invictus Games will enable the wounded soldier to heal through sports.
Wounded soldiers in war or battle, and it is organized for them to have a place to interact, socialize, and then also share their experience with their colleagues all over the world. Is to support our men, especially the sick and the wounded, to heal through sports. And that is why he was able to sponsor these heroes you are seeing behind me and beside me to Germany to represent Nigeria.
And also it helps to heal, recovery process for the soldier. With respect to post-traumatic stress disorder, soldiers that are involved in battles, they enter into PTSD, and this involvement in these sporting activities is for recovery, rehabilitations, to boost their confidence and to boost their morale, and to give them self-confidence to show that they are still useful to themselves, to the nation, and to their family.
And we believe that for the fact that they left Nigeria for the games, they are already winners. And we believe that, from this, despite their injuries, we believe that going forward, sports recovery units will be set up for wounded and injured soldiers.
The Invictus Game offers a recovery pathways for both international and local wounded, injured, and sick servicemen, so as to provide opportunities for post-traumatic growth, enabling those involved to reclaim their identity and future beyond injury. From International Airport in Abuja, Kikelomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Earthquake on Monday morning struck central Italy north of Florence, sending residents into the streets. According to reports, there was no immediate damage, but schools were closed in some areas as precautions, and trains were delayed pending checks on the railway airlines. Italy's National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology (INGV) measured the quake at 4.8 on the Richter scales, with its epicenter near Maradi, a town about 3,000 residents in the province of Florence, with the Ampefine mountain range. It was gathered that the earthquake occurred at 5:10 a.m. Confirming the incident, firefighters wrote on their X, formerly Twitter, that frightened residents had been calling emergency services, but no personal injuries have been reported at this time. The mayor of Maradi, Tommaso Tribati, told reporters that firefighters were conducting checks inside private homes. Investigators traveled on Sunday to a remote town in Brazilian Amazon to probe a plane crash that killed 14 people and left no survivors. As authorities brought the bodies to be identified, officials in Amazon state some of the small turbulence plane was flying a group of Brazilian sport fishermen into the northern town of Barcelos Saturday when it crashed in stormy weather. Apparently, after starting its descent too late and skidding off the end of the runway, a team of 5 Air Force investigators flew from state capital Manaus to Barcelos to begin analyzing the crash, which killed all 12 passengers and 2 crew. Another flight carried empty coffins to the town so the bodies could be brought back to be identified in Manaus, 40 kilometers, which is 250 miles away. Officials says the body were expected to arrive in Manaus around 6 p.m. local time on Sunday. Niger school's leader have attempted expelling France's ambassador, but Paris says it does not recognize their authority to order him out. President Emmanuel Macron says on TV he was literally a hostage stuck in the French embassy in Niamey, capital of the Republic of Niger. President Macron said on Friday that France's envoy to Niger was living like a hostage in the French embassy in Niamey, accusing the country's military rulers of blocking food deliveries to the building. Ambassador Sylvanet was living off military's ration, Macron told reporters in French town of Samoa of Oris. The coup plotters are allegedly using Niger's major financial resources, including by extorting Sonidep, the national petrol company, and diverting custom taxes to put people on the street and give the illusion of popular support. Rumors are circulating that the junta is seeking to obtain liquidity by any means, not hesitating to use force. You're watching Global TV AM News, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When Global TV AM News returns, AFDB president says Africa leading market frontier with huge untapped potential. We'll tell you about this and more right after this break. Please don't go away. Welcome back. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of the news AM News from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Let's take a look at business. The new acting chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Zach Adedeji, on Monday said the agency is fully committed to empowering Nigeria's growth and development. Adedeji, who was appointed as the new acting chairman of FIRS by President Bola Tinubu last Thursday, said in a statement on his X, formerly Twitter, after he officially assumed office. Adedeji said the FIRS is determined to align itself with President Bola Tinubu's Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee for a collaboration that will enable the government to shape a prosperous fiscal landscape that empowers national growth and development. He added that the agency will implement a robust enforcement model that effectively deters tax evaders while maintaining fairness and transparency in its processes. According to him, a fundamental aspect of the agency's mission is to elucidate to taxpayers why their civic duties matters and that they are committed to simplifying Nigeria's tax system, making it accessible and comprehensible, thereby facilitating voluntary taxpayers and fostering a sense of civic responsibility. The Ministry of Solid Minerals have made effort to attract investors to explore lithium deposit in the country. A statement by Ministry's Deputy Director of Information, Alaba Balogun, on Friday at the exhibition booth of the Ministry of Solid Minerals at the Pan Pacific Hotel during the 21st African Down Under Conference in Perth, Australia. The statement disclosed that investors showed interest in the country's minerals. The statement says, presenting a robust case for investment in the country's mining industry, Minister of Solid Minerals Dele Alake had highlighted plans to set up the Nigerian Solid Mineral Corporation as the interface between the global mining industry and Nigeria, adding that the laws permit investors to take profits out. The minister also assured investors of safety, reiterating that the government has given illegal miners 30 days to join cooperatives in addition to plans to deploy surveillance task force and mine police to combat criminals at the mines. The Minister of Transport, Senator Saidu Alkali, has directed contractors handling the Kaduna-Kano rail line to review construction materials against vandalization. The minister gave the directive while inspecting the level of work on the project site in Makarfi local government area of Kaduna State. Urging the contractors to use anti-theft clips instead of metal, the minister added that government will collaborate with security agencies to ensure timely delivery of the project. The contractors, however, lamented security challenges in the area and asked for collaboration with the military. African Development Bank AFDB President Akinwumi Adesina has called on Korean investors to seize untapped investment opportunities in Africa, especially in the energy and agriculture sectors. Adesina, in a statement on the bank website, said the African continent could not be ignored by investors. At the business forum that was held during the 7th Korean African Economic Cooperation Ministerial Conference in Korea's second largest city, Busan, Adesina highlighted the potentialities for Africa to become a leading market frontier, boasting enormous possibility in agriculture and renewable energy resources. The bank chief assured the Korean investors that Africa is not as risky as reported, adding that it is a continent of opportunities waiting to be tapped. Rivers United from Port Harcourt managed to hold host Elliott Filanti to a scoreless draw in the first leg of their second preliminary round fixtures to start their 2023-2024 CAF Federation Cup campaign in Cote d'Ivoire. Rivers United had qualified for the second round after they drew by in the first preliminary round. It is a promising result for Rivers United as they look to progress in the tournament. Etoile Filanti, on their part, reached the second round after they defeated Casa de Zogor of Senegal in the first round. The game, which was played at the Municipal Stadium in Yamoussoukro near Abidjan, ended goalless in spite of the efforts of two teams to secure a vital victory. For more sport updates, let's now join Sharon Ajay.
Nigerian Odu star Tobi Amusan has bounced back to win the Diamond League after the heartbreaking defeat of the World Championship in Budapest. The 26-year-old World 100-meter Odu record holder continues to make history as she claimed gold medal with a time of 12.33 seconds on Sunday night in Oregon, USA. Amusan, who won her first Diamond League title in 2021 in 12.42 seconds, is now the second woman after Dawn Nelson-Apper to win 100-meter hurdles title 3 times in a row. In a different development, Tyson Fury has no interest in fighting Anthony Joshua, despite the fact boxing fans are longing for an all-British bout between the two heavyweights. Fury said he was only interested in bouts that would make him lots of money, and he said there is more potential in fighting an American like Jones than there is in fighting AJ. Fury and Joshua has been locked in talks over a battle of Britain bouts last year, but discussions broke down after the Gypsy King grew impatient, waiting for AJ to sign the contract. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
So far, that's it on Global TV AM News, which came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Fauziya Lukman, thanking you so very much for watching. Global Morning continues shortly. Good morning.